Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Saturday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and we've got a lot to talk about today as our storm moves into the area. So starting here with the satellite imagery, you can see our storm. It's developing right now offshore. Look at that nice swirl in the clouds. You see that kind of classic comma shape there in the clouds there. You got the swirl of the low pressure center right now just off the northern Oregon coast, and then you can see this front ahead of the storm moving in. Look at all that lightning off the Washington coast this morning. There's still some more lightning in there at times as well, and then some of that front is starting to push through the lowlands this morning. We'll have some heavy rain at times, and then that wind is all up in here, and it's going to move into the coast this afternoon and evening, and then up through the lowlands as we go into tonight. Taking a look at the radar, you can see that shape of the storm there in the precipitation that's moving in. Some of the thunderstorms right in here in that heavier area of rain moving up toward the northern coast, and you can see that rain is starting to move up into western Washington as I make the video here this morning. We'll take a look at how that's going to play out here in just a moment. Taking a look at the forecast from the National Weather Service, you can see we have winter weather advisories in effect for the Cascades, wind advisories for most of the lowlands, and high wind warnings there down on the southern Washington coast. In addition, we have gale warnings in all of our waters and storm warnings down off the southern coast. Now taking a look here at the overall pattern, you see our storm here. It moves up toward Vancouver Island today. That troughing continues to hang out through the area as we go all the way into Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll dry out. We may have a brief system move through here on Wednesday. You can see that the trough digs out right here. This brief system moves through on Wednesday, but look at this ridging. Going to keep us nice and warmer and sunny as we go into next week, and then we will potentially get active again with some more troughing moving toward the area toward the end of October to beginning of November. Taking a look at the precipitation forecast here, you can see that low offshore. You see all that rain move through the area this morning. Some mountain snow, mainly at the higher passes. Then you see that pressure gradient right here move across western Washington as we go into this evening, and that brings more showers as well. You get more showers moving through behind the front, more snow, and then as we go into Sunday morning, that next impulse moves through, bringing another round of rain, heavy at times, and the heaviest snow yet, and the lowest snow levels yet as we cool down quite a bit there. You can see even Snoqualmie Pass will likely be getting snow there on Sunday, and then those showers continue through the day Monday before diminishing Tuesday morning. Then we have a brief system move through the area there on Wednesday, and then by Wednesday night we are dry again, and we remain dry through the end of this forecast through Thursday night. So we'll have to see how things go for Halloween, but likely on the drier side right now, though. Don't take that with certainty yet. There is still a chance that things could change. Now taking a look at lightning flash density for today. This storm, as we talked about earlier, had some lightning in it. So you can see as we go through this morning, you have that lightning potential off the coast. Take a look at this lightning potential here about 5 p.m. Look at how there's a lot of chances for lightning there up and down the Oregon and southern Washington coast, and then in parts of eastern Washington as well. Slight chance there in the lowlands. You can see that chance across the Washington coast continues all the way into tonight and then diminishes before completely ending by the time we get to Monday morning. Now, because that's in effect, the Storm Prediction Center in Oklahoma has actually issued a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms from about Port Orford, Oregon, all the way up to Ocean Shores, Washington, and that does include some of the Coast Range as well. So that is very interesting to see. We also have that risk for parts of southeast Washington, northeast Oregon, and the Idaho Panhandle. And you can see here on the coast, this could bring potential for some damaging winds, maybe some hail, and there's a very, very low chance of a brief spin-up tornado. But that is a very low chance. So it's just interesting to see that risk of severe thunderstorms on the Washington and Oregon coast in October. So just wanted to point that out there. Now taking a look at the simulated radar, you can see that rain moving up through the area today. You have some areas of mountain snow as well. Then we turn more showery by the time we get to this afternoon. Look at how heavy some of those showers are, including the ones moving onto the coast. That's why you got that severe thunderstorm risk, and you can see those heavy showers move through the area all the way through tonight, through this evening. The heaviest wind moves through as we go through tonight as well. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, you get that next round of rain moving in, and then take a look at all that snow that's happening there in the mountains, including Snoqualmie Pass there. Mainly from Stevens Pass southward is where you're going to get that snow on Sunday. And then you have more showers moving through the area as we go into Monday morning, and then we will diminish those showers by the time we get to Monday afternoon and evening. Now, the rain totals here, looking at through all the way through this week, including that weak system on Wednesday, we're likely going to get another 2.5 to 3.5 inches of rain on the coast, another inch across the lowlands, most likely, maybe up toward an inch and a half to 2 inches from Olympia southward. You can see a little bit of rain shadowing from Everett all the way up to Victoria, British Columbia there, and then the Cascades that don't get snow likely getting up to 2 inches of rain. And then taking a look at the national blend of models from the National Weather Service, you can see again 2.5 to 3.5 inches of rain on the coast, up to 5 inches in the Olympics, and then an inch to an inch and a half in the lowlands, and then over an inch and a half between Olympia and Portland. And then you can see in the Cascades 4 to 6 inches of rain. Now, taking a look at that mountain snow, you can see our biggest mountain snow of the season so far. The pass is likely getting about a foot of snow, probably a little bit less at Snoqualmie Pass, maybe 4 to 6 inches, maybe 6 to 10 inches. We'll see. But Stevens Pass, White Pass, likely getting 12 to 18 inches of snow. The Chinook Pass Highway 410 there is closing, or has already closed actually, and that is good because it's going to get nearly 2 feet of snow up there. So if you are traveling over the passes this weekend, especially on Sunday, please be prepared for snow and winter driving conditions for the first time this season. So it's always interesting to have that first one of the season, and that will be on Sunday. Now, taking a look at the wind, you can see this is our low pressure system that we were looking at on the satellite the beginning of this video, and you can see that strong pressure gradient to its south, and then you see that strong pressure gradient move across western Washington as we go into early Sunday morning, and that is going to be what causes our winds. And here is the European model. You can see it has uptrended significantly over the past few days. Here you can see here for the Willamette Valley, southwest Washington, winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour, maybe even some 50-plus mile per hour gusts from Portland southward. And then you can see from the Vancouver, Washington area up I-5 toward Olympia and Tacoma, you're looking at gusts of 40 to 45 miles per hour. From Tacoma northward there, including the Kitsap Peninsula and parts of Seattle and Everett, there you have gusts of 45 to 50 miles per hour, which would really cause some damage with all the leaves on the trees. And then from Everett northward, those gusts again 40 to 50 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour more isolated north of Everett. But this is a signal that's been showing up for some gusts near or just above 50 miles per hour around the Seattle and Everett and Tacoma metro area. So that could definitely cause power outages and tree damage with the leaves still on the trees as we go, although of course there won't be that many leaves on the trees by the time this storm moves through. But this could definitely cause some outages. And then on the coast there, you can see gusts of 45 to 55 miles per hour, with some areas reaching 60 plus miles per hour as we go through this evening. Now, taking a look at a higher resolution forecast, this is the high resolution rapid refresh model. You can see again 50 to 60 miles per hour on the Washington coast. And then take a look in the interior. Look at these gusts from the Olympia and Shelton areas all the way up toward Everett, gusting 45 to 50 miles per hour, maybe a few 50 plus mile per hour gusts in there. The high resolution rapid refresh model here also shows a westerly surge down the Strait of Juan de Fuca, with gusts from Port Angeles down towards Sequim and then toward Whidbey Island up to 50 miles per hour, 45 to 50 miles per hour in the northwest interior as well, and then areas between Olympia and Portland gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour, and then you can see, of course, the strongest winds on the coast and on the ridges of the mountains. But again, don't rule out the potential for a 50-plus mile per hour gust in the Seattle metro area, which could, again, cause a lot of damage, power outages, and then trees down and stuff because all the leaves are still on the trees. So just heads up for that. And those peak winds will be Saturday evening going into late Saturday night. So be sure to watch out for that in the interior. And then on the coast, those peak winds are going to be Saturday afternoon into the night. And then taking a look at waves, we don't have a ton of high surf advisories up. There maybe should be some up for some of the waves that could be coming in, but there are high surf advisories up for the Oregon coast, and we'll see why here as we go through today. Look at the heights of some of these maximum wave heights here are 40 plus feet. Now, the actual average height of the waves that's going to be hitting the coast is more like 20 to 30 feet, but that still is definitely a very high surf event, especially for October. And you can see as we go into tonight, these waves start to hit the Washington coast as well, move through the Oregon coast, move through the Washington coast as we go into Sunday morning, and then we do start to see that swell diminish as we go into Sunday afternoon. But these are definitely some big waves. I mean, that is, you can tell where our storm is. The storm is just to the north here, and it moves up, and they have that nice big swell to the south that moves in to the Oregon and Washington coast. So be careful if you're out there wave watching today and on Sunday as well. And then, of course, a brief look at temperatures. You can see today across the region highs in the low to mid 50s, and then maybe a few areas in the upper 50s. But Sunday, we're going to cool down quite a bit with that cool air moving through that mountain snow and all that, bringing highs in the mid 40s to low 50s. Some areas may not get above 50 degrees. Going into Monday, you can see remain pretty chilly, highs in the low 50s across western Washington. But with that ridging starting to build on Tuesday, we start warming up with highs in the mid to upper 50s, low 50s still around Whatcom and Skagit counties there. And then going into Wednesday, we warm up a little bit more across the whole area, highs in the mid to upper 50s. And then going into Thursday, look at that, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s, maybe some mid 50s to the north as well. So overall, nice-ish weather coming up, but we have, of course, a big storm to go through first. And then, of course, if you want a nice hoodie, sweatshirt, stuff like that, go and check out the Western Washington Weather merch store. 2 days left to get 25% off all orders over $70. Link is in the description below. And, of course, thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather, and then follow the Western Washington Weather Facebook group and my Twitter and Blue Sky accounts. I will be doing a lot of updates, including potentially some on-location updates as we go through the day today and into the evening with this storm moving through. So be safe out there, everybody. Stay tuned, and I'll talk to you all later.